to kind of model this one right here. So you can do your own design, but I just wanted to kind of show you how to make a basic one. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is we're just gonna make kind of the general shape of it. Okay, now according to the assignment, we have a piece of basically a 2x4, which they're about 1.5 inch by 3.5 by 12. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and model it off of that size. Now, I don't want to use the whole 12 inches because I have holders that have to hold the wood in place so that it sticks up off the table, so we're not routering into the table. So that's why we don't use the whole 12 inches. At best, you'll have 10 inches, but my thoughts are that maybe we do around an 8-inch or so, 8 to 9 inch amp. So I'm going to go ahead and start a sketch. So I'm going to put a sketch on the front plane here. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and start with the circular items on the end. So I'm just going to go ahead and go on this side, and I'm going to put in a circle, and I'm going to make that circle 3.5. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and dimension from the center point here to the center of that. Okay. And now if I want this to be 8 inches from end to end, I'm going to make this 4, but then I'm going to subtract half of 3.5, which is 1.75. So I'm going to go 4 minus 1.75. Okay. And then that should be around 4 inches from there to there. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and mirror this over this line. Okay. And just to double check, you don't have to do this, but I'm just going to double check. So if I draw a line across this, you can see that it is 8 inches. Okay. So that's kind of where the speakers are going to be on this acoustic amp right in here. Okay. And if I want to make this like a little bigger, so let's say I want to make it 9 inches instead, I could make this 4.5, 4.5, and I'll move them both out. Okay. And I actually like that, so I'll go ahead and keep that. All right. So now I'm just going to go ahead and connect these with a 3-point arc. So I'm just going to kind of go up here, about in here. And I'm going to go to the other side about in the same. And I'm just going to go ahead and put a nice arc in here that connects those. All right. Now I'm probably going to use the same one on the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm just going to mirror over this line. All right. And then I've got my amp stuff in there. Okay. Now at this point, we're going to go ahead and extrude this, and then we're going to cut out parts that we don't need. Okay. And so you can see that this one has a cover on it that matches all that. So we're going to have to draw that cover in. All right. And then we're going to have to put a channel in there as well. All right. So we'll go ahead and extrude this. So I'm just going to hit OK. And we're going to go ahead and extrude all this. We're just going to make it 1.5. So we have a close to this right thickness. Okay. All right. And now we're going to start hollowing this out. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and sketch. I'm going to put a sketch on here. The first thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and put in kind of the speakers. So I want to put these in. Okay. So you can do that by, you might have to use project geometry so that you can get the center point. So I projected geometry there. And I'm going to go ahead and put in a circle. Okay. So my other one was 3.5. So I'm going to go ahead and make this one, yeah, 2.75 will be good. That'll give me about 1/2 inch on either side. All right. You can do the same thing over here, or you can simply mirror it over so you don't have to redraw. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and put the channels in. So you kind of need to know the size of your phone in order to put the channels in. So that I know with the case on, my phone is about 3.25 wide. Okay. So I'm going to basically put a kind of a square in here that's 3.25 wide. Okay. And it's from the center of this point. So I'm going to go center point rectangle. So I just went over here and clicked this caret down, center point rectangle. And I'm going to go right here. I'm just going to kind of draw a rectangle. All right. And I said it was 3.25. So I'm going to make it 3.25. Okay. And then right now it's at 0.81. Okay. I do kind of want my phone to fit down in there pretty good. Okay. So I do want maybe a 1/2 inch in here. Okay. So this isn't really too bad. I might go 0.75 just to kind of make it a little better. All right. But I've got that in there, and I'm going to cut that in as well. Okay. And you can see it kind of goes into the circles a little bit. So what I might do is I might come in here and make these circles a little smaller. Okay. So if you run into that, you can make them a touch smaller too. And it doesn't look like that square quite got where I needed it to. Looks like it went into a different point. So I might undo that. And I'll project geometry. Oh, that won't work either. I'm gonna have to put a point in here. So you might have to put a point right there in the center so that you get it centered. Okay, so 3.25 and 0.75. All right, now it goes in there. So I'm gonna make this 2.5 so that these aren't quite touching. Okay, and so this is where the phone's going to go. Okay, and then I'm probably going to come up in here and put a cover in. Okay, and we can do that pretty easy by just going up in here. If you want to go about in the middle, you can. And I'm just going to go ahead and have this come straight down. All right, I'm going to go ahead and trim it off in between the circle because I don't need it there. And then I'm going to mirror it over. Okay. So that's this is going to be the face. Okay. So we're going to be probably taking this sketch later and copying it and pasting it to another part studio so we have the actual face part. Okay. But now we can kind of do some extruding and cutting and things like that. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and green check mark this. All right. And first, let's go ahead and cut in our circles. Okay, 1 inch is a good depth, but I want to remove them. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and remove those. All right, you can see my sketch disappears. I need to bring my sketch back. Okay, and I'm going to remove where the cover goes, and then I'm going to remove where my phone needs to go. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and extrude, and I'm going to remove all this for the cover, and I'm only going to remove maybe a 1/4 inch. Okay. So I'm going to remove a 1/4 inch there. So you can see I removed that, and that's where my cover is going to fit over it. Now I'll remove where the phone's going to go. So I'm going to extrude again and probably choose that. I want to remove. Okay, but I don't want it. Actually, that's not too bad. My phone is about a 1/2 inch thick. Okay, so we really need this to go in about 0.75. So we'll do 0.8 just so that it's not like a tight fit. Okay, and so then my phone should sit right in there. All right, and then my cover should kind of go over that.